Fat Joe is pissing off black people again. He's already back in more controversy. And black folks haven't forgot about the first controversy when Fat Joe called foundationally black Americans broke and dusty. This time around, the new controversy is centered around his new podcast with Jadakiss. While explaining why he started this new podcast with Jadakiss, Fat Joe decided he was going to take shots or take aim at the current state of hip hop media, which is comprised of mainly black folks. Fat Joe decided he was going to take the place of authority in hip hop media when discussing with Jada why he started a podcast. Fat Joe said he started a podcast because people like him deserve to have an opinion, and people like him is who the people need to listen to. And if you've never had a hit record and you've never done nothing in hip hop, you shouldn't have an opinion. Listen, bro, if the bar is now, if you've never had a hit record, and a hit record is very subjective, because some people will say, if you had a song reach number 90 on the top 100 charts, that's not a hit record. So what are we talking about? If you've never had a top 40 hit, you can't speak on hip hop. To me, that right there is a bar that's going to destroy this entire industry that Fat Joe is now entering into. That's not smart at all. But also, too, even saying that isn't smart for Fat Joe, because currently, due to Fat Joe's previous comments about foundationally black Americans calling him dirty and broke, Fat Joe's placement in hip hop is currently at stake, right? People is currently trying to figure out, is Fat Joe a hip hop legend?
Just everybody, what's going to make the difference with the Joe and Jada podcast?
Authenticity. You know what I mean? It got to be an organic conversation, right? We can't ride the wave of what's going on out here. You know what I mean? This ain't that, and that ain't this.
That ain't this.
It's crack and kiss.
Oh, see, my thing is when you talk about, Dan, that's one right there. You know, when you talk about hip hop podcasts, see, I can't salute you if you didn't go and did a show and the promoter beat you for your second half of your money, or you went to a show, the promoter don't want to pay you.
If you haven't been through the farm league
listen,
of what it takes.
Listen, you can't be sitting up here dissecting the albums, and that's the problem we have with rap.
Fat Joe needs to read the room more. I'm not saying Fat Joe isn't a rap legend. I'm not saying he is. I don't know, all right? Because I haven't really looked at Fat Joe's entire discography, his top 40 hits, his impact. I really haven't given it any thought. But you have to read the room, bro, right? When you're currently in a position where people are looking at you like a vulture, they're looking at you as if you're trying to tether yourself to a particular culture, and they're saying you a guest. But then the first thing you do when you start a platform to speak about things that people believe that you shouldn't even be speaking about in the first place, you start the position of as if you are an authority. Listen, bro, I'm of the mindset, man, if you listen to music, you can critique it, right? Yo, if you eat food, you don't have to be a top chef. You don't have to be a 5-star culinary chef to critique the food you eat, to know if the food you're eating is good or bad. No, it tastes, bro, we all have different palates. And that's the same thing with our listening ears, right? Like, yo, if I listen to something, if I'm consuming something, I can have an opinion on whether or not I think that's good or bad. I don't think that I need to get jerked out of money by promoters. I don't think I need to have a top 40 hit, which very few people who ever walked the earth has. So if that's the bar, then just throw away the entire industry, bro. Get rid of it, homie. Like, get rid of it, bro. And we know you dudes who do got top 40 hits or top 20 hits, bro, y'all not about to be consistent, bro. Y'all not about to hop on YouTube and grind it out. Stop it, bro. Yo, and there's a timeline, like there's like a TikTok, a stop clock for how long this podcast is gonna last with Fat Joe and Jadakiss. T.I. had a podcast. That podcast lasted like 3 months, bro. Fat Joe had another venture. That lasted like 2 months. Jada ain't never done this before like that. So when we know y'all not about to be consistent, we know, like, this is not y'all life. So to come in the industry, to come in hip-hop media, and to automatically start chastising the people who lay the groundwork that you're currently walking on, like, to me, it's crazy, and it's not reading the room.
Since the beginning, since the source mics and all this, it's like, yo, you ain't even played a game. You see, the reason why we love TNT so much with Chuck and Shaq, these are legends. They played the game. They know the ins and outs. When it comes to Jada and Joe, like, we've been over. We done won. We done had moments. We done had anthems. We know the game. We done got beat by the promoters. You ain't really been real unless they sick pit bulls on you when you try to get your second half of money. Or you got to beat up a promoter and take the money in quarters. You know what I'm saying? Or you get kidnapped in Africa. We need our money, right? We need our money. So I'm going to take
my
it in
money
quarters.
and I need it now.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get my so when I see these certain guys commenting, never had a hit record, never had a album, never, I'm like, to me, they're not qualified. You know, certain
When they put these mics in front of people, they lose some people just get caught in the moment and say dumb. You know what I mean? And it happens to the best of us.
Imagine the legends that Fat Joe is disrespecting, probably not even realizing he's disrespecting with this take. So Angie Martinez shouldn't be speaking on hip hop, Fat Joe. So Big Boy shouldn't be speaking on hip hop. Nadeska shouldn't be speaking on hip hop. Jinx shouldn't be speaking on hip hop. Now Joe Budden has a hit record, but but Joe Budden record wasn't even gold. Like it just got gold this year. So by his definition, Joe Budden don't got a hit record. Because Pump It Up just went gold this year. So Fat Joe said, what, Joe Budden shouldn't speak on hip hop? I don't understand why you would take this adversary stance knowing the position you're in when you just started a podcast. It's not smart at all. People weren't shy to take the social media to voice their opinion of what Fat Joe stated. You can pause the screen to read it all, but this is people essentially shaming Jadakiss for doing the podcast with Fat Joe. Like not really understanding how Fat Joe got so confident and arrogant. Them claiming that Fat Joe is absolutely wrong about what he's saying. Them saying that Fat Joe isn't really a part of hip hop or his music isn't an integral part of hip hop. One person says, Jadakiss, for the love of you, a D Block, please leave this clown, referring to Fat Joe. And they would just go off on Jada, man, for apparently helping out Fat Joe, who they call a lion Latino. It does have to be said that a lot of these people who are going off on Fat Joe do identify as FBA, or they rep FBA on Twitter, or they do have the FBA in their bio. So a lot of these people are people who already had issues with Fat Joe. So I don't think it would matter exactly what he said. They would have went off on him nonetheless. But this is just Fat Joe opening himself up for more critique and more criticism. I don't understand why he did it at all. Now, I'm not faulting Jadakiss for getting a bag to do a podcast with Fat Joe. I don't even think, is Jadakiss an FBA? Because one thing about FBA is they always say, yo, you could tell who's FBA by the hairline. Jadakiss has an African hairline, right? If we're being honest, or the hairline that people associate with Africans. That's not necessarily true. Yeah, but Jada has that hairline. So I don't know if Jada is FBA or, if he's an out of code tether, who knows? But yeah, I don't feel like Jada should be blamed for taking a bag for doing a podcast with Fat Joe. A lot of other people would do the exact same thing if they had the opportunity to. Now, one person in particular who thinks it's severely unfair for Fat Joe and Jadakiss to be doing a podcast, to be like starting a platform and taking away from other people who are really doing it, who aren't celebrities, is our good friend Hassan Campbell. Here's what Hassan Campbell had to say about Fat Joe and Jada starting a podcast and Fat Joe initial comments.
I only got one problem with it. Back when, back a couple of years ago, YouTube tried to take the check mark from the content creators, and the content creators flipped. So they left us with our check mark. Now, the word celebrity means those who are famous. So when you look at, and I know some of y'all don't like it, but content creators is taking over. It's killing. The rap game is over with. The rap game is over with. And if Jadakiss and Fat Joe is going to get on a podcast and start running their mouth, start talking about the industry, because the rap game is officially all the way over. There's no more money left in. Ever since COVID, it's been dead.
He's not lying. A lot of these rappers are hopping into streaming now, or hopping into media when media was just corny, because to them, this is like a give fast money glitch, right? Like they already have huge built-in audiences. they can just come on YouTube, come on Twitch, and they already have a higher foundation than most people. Like, for example, the baby now cooks on Twitch. Now, the baby does about, I don't know, like 3 to 5,000 live viewers. Now, he's no Kai Cenat on Twitch. However, 3 to 5,000 to start off, that's a pretty huge foundation. Like, you're to get 3 to 5,000 people to watch you on Twitch to start off, that's crazy because like the average person who does Twitch for 5 years don't have 5,000 people watching him at a time. So a lot of these people are now seeing like the media game as the new angle or as the new get quick scheme. And a lot of them are coming in not for the love to disperse information, not to entertain, no, but strictly for the paper because the rap stuff ain't working out, bro. Yo, the average YouTuber makes more than the average rapper. That's just a fact. And I'm not talking about the top rapper, bro. Meaning, bro, yo, if you are a mainstream rapper, like like you for sure probably make more than the top YouTubers, but even that's not true, bro. Cause like for example, does Cardi B makes more than Mr. Beast? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think so at all. I don't know who's another YouTuber, bro. Like do Future make more than PewDiePie? I don't know. I don't think so. So a lot of them is seeing this as a get money quick scheme, which is why, because of that, I disagree with Hassan Campbell's next point. Hassan Campbell believes that these rappers or these celebrities would overtake and wash out the regular people doing content. And I don't think so, because I do believe the audience is smart enough to realize these people ain't dedicated to giving y'all content, bro. And their content are usually subpar, to be honest.
Us content creators didn't get no respect. We got called all types of names. We got disrespected. We got clowned. We was bozos. We was idiots. They called us every name in the book. But we kept posting content and we created a crazy lane on this internet. Once upon a time, these niggas was running around talking about, I ain't no internet. Now all the street is trying to be internet. And the sad part about it is, you YouTubers gonna act like y'all don't see what's happening to our numbers. Y'all gonna act like y'all don't see that our numbers are being faded out. It's crazy how you got these athletes and these rappers coming to YouTube and they being pushed in the algorithm, but the dudes that created this lane and made niggas in the street, because they act like, yo, the crazy part about it is these niggas act like they don't watch us.
If you want to say after a while, when YouTube or the platform has a lot of celebrities doing daily content and daily news content and daily commentary, well, that would expand the audience enough to where the audience would not be watching them and not the regular people. Maybe that's the case, but even that, I don't think so, bro. I think the audience is going to go to who makes the best content. Now, a lot of these celebrities got the production quality, got a lot, but they're not ready to give it up how I think a regular person is ready to give it up. Like, I come on this platform, bro, and bro, I tell y'all how it's F rappers every day, bro. I tell y'all what I don't like, who I don't like, why I don't like it, and I violate, bro. These celebrities got relationships to protect. They're not about to give it up. So I feel like there's still going to be the lane for us, even though if those celebrities come in, they have wild success. And YouTube is big enough for everybody to eat, right? Like, it's big enough for everybody to eat. Now, what I don't agree with, and this is where Hassan is getting to, Hassan believes that the platform YouTube is pushing the button to suppress the regular content creators and push the celebrities, which I don't think that's true. I feel like the algorithm works with click-through rate and retention time, meaning if YouTube show your video to a lot of people and a lot of them click on it and watch it to the end, your video is going to get pushed in the algorithm. If YouTube shows your video to a lot of people and very few click on it and they don't watch it to the end, YouTube, like that tells the algorithm this is a bad video. So I don't feel like it's YouTube pushing buttons. I feel like the audience is picking and choosing who they want to listen to. And a lot of people were getting a lot of views when the market wasn't this saturated. Now it's saturated. And now people have to stand out in different ways. And the audience is choosing not to watch the people they've been watching for years before, there was competition.
My only problem with all these celebrities coming to YouTube is that somebody behind the scenes is pushing them in the algorithm to our audience and slowing us down to our audience, and that's not fair. And I'm sitting back and I'm watching all these different channels. I'll give you a prime example. You got a dude named CJ So Cool, right? CJ So Cool got 9 million YouTube followers. 9 million. The nigga only barely getting 20 and 30,000 views on his channel, when he usually get millions of views. Nigga get like 200,000 or 300,000 views in 24-hour period. Now they got the nigga, a dude with 9 million subscribers getting 20 million views. 20,000 views. That's insanity. It's insanity. I usually get 100,000 views every video for years. I slowed down. They started messing with me in the algorithm. And now I'm posting videos up after 3 hours on YouTube. My channel, my video is not even growing no more. Somebody hit the brakes on my channel.
What Hassan is speaking on isn't totally crazy, because YouTube has admitted there are certain mechanisms they have in place to make sure that, that you don't show up in the search results. But I don't feel like that apply when it comes to CJ So Cool or Hassan. With CJ So Cool, he has other reasons for why his channel isn't really doing as well as it used to. His family broke up, the fan base separated, he acquired a lot of people over a certain time. He amassed a lot of followers with like YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts don't watch long form content. It's a lot. With Hassan Campbell, I just think in 2016, 2017, when like Hassan Campbell was doing those numbers, or 2018, when Hassan was doing those numbers, that was a time where the market really wasn't saturated, bro. Like, the only people who was really on YouTube doing hip hop commentary, you had academics, you had Relatable Oddball, which is my guy. I want him to come back. I feel like the culture needs Relatable Oddball. You had Diamonds Live. Yeah, and that was about it, to be honest, bro. Right? So when you are somebody who came in with something completely new, you were the street dude who's anti-streets. Well, that message, like captivated a lot of people, because you was a breath of fresh air. You was different. But now you have 1,000 street dudes say the same thing and doing the same thing. So now, guess what? The market is saturated. And, like your 100,000 views that was concentrated only on you because you were the only one doing it is now being spread thin to a lot of other creators. And that's what I believe is currently going on. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think, okay? Do you guys believe that Fat Joe is right? That if you don't have a hit record, you shouldn't speak on hip hop? And do you guys believe that Hassan Campbell is right? That YouTube is using these celebrities to sort of filter out the regular people doing content? Let me know. And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why this man is going to be responsible for ending Diddy. Diddy is done. He's cooked. He just got some really bad news today. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.